I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. You're tired. I know we all tired at this point. And I'm really trying my best to figure it out as I go. It's not easy as it seems, and it can be sometimes very difficult when you're navigating life and stuff constantly just keeps happening. And then I even feel weird about like complaining about it. I've had to tell some people, like, if you like, I've separated myself and not try to be that person that complains quite often, because I remember a long time ago I had a conversation with a couple of people about complaining and how, like, I feel like you should have people that you can complain to, but it's hard not to complain all the time. Especially because of the way that this world is set up and the things that happen. But for me, and from my example, because of how tired I am and because of the things that I'm going through, I feel like I've had to step back from complaining so much because I feel like my complaining is starting to bother people. And I don't want to be that type of person. And then there's this instance of me thinking, like, why am I always going through something? Right. And I think as I'm starting to get older and older, I'm just coming to the realization that I'm always just going to be going through something. And I just have to get used to it. But then at the same time, I have to remind myself and speak out that because you're going through things doesn't mean that you're not allowed to have happiness, you're not allowed to have joy, you're not allowed to have peace in between those insane moments. Because I know you're tired as much as I am tired of the outside noise, the things that are going on in the world, the things that we can't even say out loud and speak out loud on these said platforms because of the control that we're all under. And I wear my like heart on my shoulder or wear it on my sleeve or whatever the saying is, and a lot of people know that. And I try my best to not let the world and the conforming of it to get to the best of me, because when I'm trying to strive for my purpose every day, every hour, every minute, every second, it it just becomes hard. And when I'm doing so much and constantly burning out, on a high, burnout, on a high, burnout, it can really take a toll on you. And right now, I'm kind of in that moment once again because, you deal with a lot of things that are so unexpected. Because currently, right now, I'm going through another grief process, and it's only been about a year and a half since my dad passed. And just recently, an aunt of mine that I was very, very close with just passed. And that just happened a couple days ago. But previous to that, a close uncle of mine passed as well too. And now I have to face the fact of next week is her funeral one day. The next day I'm going to his funeral. And then I have a family reunion right after that. So things just feel really weird. And then on the next upcoming week, I go right back to work like everything is going to be normal. This capitalistic corporate world. And then on top of that, everything else that's going on. So my brain is on this precipice of like, I don't understand what the heck I'm doing, or like, what is it that I have to keep on like striving for? And there's so much that constantly keeps happening, and I just don't know exactly what is my next step. Because sometimes you do have to just take it day by day. Because that's how exhausted I am. That's how tired I am. That I'm just like, I have to take this day by day. Like I don't want to be a person that changes because of the circumstances that I've been through and become a negative spirit, because that's not who I am. And that's not who that's not who I want to be. No matter how tired I get, no matter how burnt out I get. And I think for a lot of us, even for yourself that might be feeling the same way, that you're tired of the things that you go through and you're tired of the experiences that you've been through or what you're going through currently, we kind of have to remind ourselves that like those those experiences don't shape us into bad people. Usually those experiences are meant to shape us into better human beings that are meant to be more empathetic and understanding and caring. Because the more that I lose, the more that I want to protect and the more that I want to gain, whether it comes down to seeing my family more often, talking to them more often, talking to my friends more often, reaching out to them, and being less alone. Because when you're tired and you mix being alone, it's not a good combination. And I need to fix that because I'm noticing myself doing the simple, basic daily routine of getting up, going to work, being at work all day, doom scrolling, getting work done, driving in traffic, coming back home, doom scrolling some more, not talking to anybody, and then going to sleep and repeating the same cycle over and over again. And I don't want that to be my life. I don't want that to be my 30s, at least that. I know that much. And I know you probably don't want that to be your life either. And that's why there's like this huge consensus of people waking up to seeing like what's going on around us and how it's pushing us to the brink of burnout and it's pushing us to the brink of being tired. Excuse me. But I'm exhausted. And I want to keep going, not in the sense of like I'm going to stop this or I'm going to stop, being myself or doing this and that and the third, but there's going to be a time when I really need to figure some shit out because I think like enough is enough. When you've had enough, you've had enough. And when you're that exhausted and you're that tired, you really have to start making some harder and tough decisions. So I'm kind of at that breaking point where there's a lot going on in my life. There's a lot of care and need that I need to take towards my own self, my own family. And it's hard to have that dichotomy and balance of trying to figure all of that out on top of everything else. And I don't want you to feel bad. I'm seeing a lot of like my friends and like other people, family, colleagues, mutuals, and they're still doing what they have to do, living their lives, et cetera, et cetera. And some of them are expressing their feelings of feeling bad about still trying to find happiness in this nasty world or still trying to find joy when so many things are going on. And you still have the right to be happy because life is way too damn short. It's literally too short. It will come by you in the blink of an eye. And one moment you'll sit there and feel like, damn, I really regret not making the choices that I did. Or damn, I really wish I did what I said I would. And that's the only reason that I'm freaking sitting here talking to you guys in the first place. Because I told myself that I was going to be more consistent with this because I've always dreamed of doing this. And I don't see myself even if it comes down to me being 60-year-old Mikey sitting in front of a camera talking or finding a way to hopefully retire by then because, the retirement age is crazy in America, but whatever it might be. I see a future, I see a path for myself, and it's not a vision of me, it's not a version of me that feels the way that I feel now. That's as tired as I am now. The future version of yourself is not as exhausted as it is now trying to get there. Because I know eventually that down the line, I'm going to look back and see a version of myself and be like, damn, I really was going through it. And look at me now. Look at how well I'm facing the adversity and the hardships that I'm going through. Look at how much I've changed. Look at how much I've become a better human because of the instances and because of the experiences that I actually have been through. And the same is going to happen for you. But at this time, you're probably extremely tired and you feel defeated and you feel like you want to give up, but you can't. And sometimes you are on that teetering point. You are on the tip of that scale where you feel like you make one false move and it's a wrap. But just remember that life is always going to give you something to help you balance. And things are always going to just happen, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean that you can't stop speaking out positivity, that you can't seek out positivity, that you can't keep striving for your own happiness, your own joy. Because the more that you do that, the more that it'll latch onto others and continue to loop itself around. But yeah, y'all, I'm tired. I know you're probably tired. And we're going to figure this out. But at this point, I really don't know how we're going to figure it out. But we're just going to try our best. And hopefully, in the next coming weeks, months, whatever it might be, next time that I make an update like this or make a video like this, we'll see how things are. But keep striving, keep staying strong, especially with all that's going on in the world, and know that you are loved and know that you have people behind you that are supporting you, that have your back, that know how tired you are, and will continue to be there for you along the way.